Chapter 1. In the beginning. Think of a large, beautiful, empty land with tall mountains, green forests, shiny lakes, animals and fish, but no people. This was America. 16,000 years ago. Around that time, the first people likely came to Alaska from Asia. They moved south and became the Native Americans of North America and the Maya, Aztecs, Inca, and other peoples of Central and South America. The Inuit, Eskimos, came to Canada and the Arctic the same way. But today, there are only a few of these people left. In America, in the 1500s, Europeans started coming to America, and soon after, they brought slaves from Africa to work for them. Many immigrants kept coming from all over the world until the middle of the 1900s. The empty land was now full of people speaking different languages and with different ideas. There are just three countries in North America now: Canada, Mexico, and the USA, but there were almost several more, and the 300 million people living in the 50 states of the United States are not all the same. About 67% are white, 13% Hispanic, Spanish speaking, 13% black, 4% Asian, and just 1% Native American. Most of them speak English, but it is not the same English as people speak in Britain, and many Americans speak Spanish as their first language. So, how was the USA born? How did it grow? What kind of country is it now? This book video will try to answer those questions and many more. Chapter 2. The Age of Exploration. A long time ago, brave sailors from Europe decided to find new lands. They came from countries like Spain, England, and France. These explorers were curious and wanted to find faster ways to reach Asia to trade for spices, silk, and other goods. One famous sailor was Christopher Columbus. In 1492, he sailed across the Atlantic Ocean with three small ships: the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. When he reached land, he thought he was in Asia, but it was really the Americas. Columbus wasn't the only explorer. Others, like Amerigo Vespucci, followed and realized it was a whole new continent. That's why America is named after Vespucci. These Europeans brought many new things to America, like horses, cows, and wheat. But they also brought diseases that made many Native Americans sick and caused a lot of suffering. Explorers like Hernan Cortes and Francisco Pizarro also came and conquered great civilizations like the Aztecs and the Incas. This was a time of big changes for the people already living in the Americas. Soon, these explorers started building towns and claiming land for their countries. That's how the first European colonies began. Chapter 3. Building the colonies. In the 1600s, people from Europe came to America to start colonies. There were 13 main colonies along the east coast of what is now the United States. These colonies were divided into three regions: New England, the Middle Colonies, and the Southern Colonies. Each region had its own way of life. In New England, colonies like Massachusetts and Connecticut were settled by people who wanted religious freedom. These settlers, called Puritans, worked hard and built towns with schools and churches. They fished, built ships, and traded goods. Life was strict but very organized. In the middle colonies, like Pennsylvania and New York, life was more diverse. People came from many different countries, including Germany, the Netherlands, and Sweden. They grew crops like wheat and raised livestock. These colonies were known for their tolerance and trade. In the southern colonies, like Virginia and South Carolina, the economy was based on agriculture. Large farms, called plantations, grew crops like tobacco, rice, and cotton. These plantations used the labor of enslaved Africans, which created a lot of wealth for some but caused great suffering for others. Life in the colonies was not easy. People had to build homes, find food, and stay safe from bad weather and conflicts. But they worked together and built schools, churches, and towns. Over time, these colonies grew strong and started thinking about becoming their own country. Chapter 4: The Fight for Freedom. By the 1700s, the 13 colonies were thriving, but they didn't always get along with Britain. Britain made the colonies pay high taxes on things like tea and paper. The colonists didn't think this was fair because they didn't have a say in British decisions. They started saying, "No taxation without representation." People began protesting. One famous event was the Boston Tea Party in 1773, where colonists dressed as Native Americans and dumped British tea into the Boston harbor. This made Britain angry, and they sent soldiers to the colonies. The tensions grew and eventually led to the American Revolution. The colonists wanted to be free and make their own country. In 1776, leaders like Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin helped write the Declaration of Independence. This document said that the colonies were free from British rule and had the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It was a bold statement that inspired the colonists to keep fighting. Chapter 5: The American Revolution. The American Revolution was a long and difficult war that lasted from 1775 to 1783. The colonists' army was small and not well trained, but they were determined. George Washington became the leader of the American forces. He faced many challenges, like keeping his soldiers fed and warm during the harsh winter at Valley Forge. Some of the most important battles were at Saratoga and Yorktown. The Battle of Saratoga in 1777 was a turning point because it convinced France to help the colonies. French soldiers and ships played a big role in the final victory at Yorktown in 1781. After years of fighting, the British finally surrendered, and the war ended with the Treaty of Paris in 1783. The colonies had won their independence and became the United States of America. Now, they had to figure out how to build a new nation. Chapter 6: A New Country. After the American Revolution, the United States was free, but it faced many challenges. The first plan for the government was called the Articles of Confederation. However, this plan was too weak because it didn't give enough power to the federal government. States had too much independence, and it was hard to make decisions for the whole country. In 1787, leaders like George Washington, James Madison, and Alexander Hamilton met at the Constitutional Convention to create a better plan. They wrote the Constitution, which is still the law of the land today. The Constitution created a government with three parts: the President, Congress, and the courts. Each part had its own job to do, and they balanced each other's power. Not everyone agreed at first. Some people, called anti-federalists, were worried that the new government would be too strong. To address their concerns, the Bill of Rights was added to the Constitution. These first 10 amendments protected freedoms like speech, religion, and the press. The United States was now ready to grow and face new challenges. Chapter 7: Growing and Moving West. In the early 1800s, America started growing westward. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson made a big deal called the Louisiana Purchase. This added a huge piece of land to the United States, doubling its size. To explore this new land, Jefferson sent Lewis and Clark on an expedition. They traveled for years, mapping rivers and mountains and meeting Native American tribes along the way. People believed it was their destiny to move west. They called this idea Manifest Destiny. Settlers traveled in covered wagons to find new opportunities. Some went to farm, while others searched for gold during the gold rush in California. But this expansion wasn't fair to everyone. Native Americans were forced off their land and onto reservations, leading to many conflicts and broken promises. Despite the hardships, America kept growing. Railroads connected the East and West, making travel and trade easier. New states joined the Union, and the country's population grew rapidly. Chapter 8: The Civil War. As America grew, it faced big problems. One of the biggest was slavery. The North and South had very different economies and beliefs about slavery. The North had factories and wanted to end slavery, while the South relied on plantations and wanted to keep it. In 1860, Abraham Lincoln was elected president. He didn't want slavery to spread to new states. This made the southern states angry, and they decided to leave the Union and form their own country, called the Confederacy. This led to the Civil War in 1861. The Civil War was the deadliest war in American history. It lasted 4 years and had many famous battles, like Gettysburg and Antietam. President Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, which declared that enslaved people in the Confederate States were free. In 1865, the Union North won the war. Slavery was abolished, but the country had to rebuild and heal from the damage. Chapter 9: Rebuilding After the War. The time after the Civil War was called Reconstruction. The government worked to rebuild the South and help freed African Americans start new lives. New laws, like the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, were added to the Constitution. These laws ended slavery, made African Americans citizens, and gave them the right to vote. But Reconstruction wasn't easy. Many people in the South didn't want change. They created laws called Jim Crow laws to keep African Americans from having equal rights. Despite these challenges, African Americans started schools, businesses, and churches, building strong communities. Reconstruction ended in 1877, but its effects lasted for many years. Chapter 10: New People, New Ideas. In the late 1800s, America changed quickly. Millions of people from Europe and Asia came to America to start new lives. They arrived at places like Ellis Island in New York and Angel Island in California. These immigrants worked hard in factories, mines, and railroads. They brought their cultures and traditions, making America a melting pot. This was also a time of big inventions. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, and Thomas Edison created the electric light bulb. Cities grew fast, with skyscrapers and busy streets. But not everyone had an easy life. Many workers lived in crowded apartments and worked long hours for little pay. People started fighting for better conditions. Labor unions formed, and women demanded the right to vote. America was changing, and new ideas were shaping its future. Chapter 11: The World Wars and Hard Times. In the early 1900s, America became more involved in the world. In 1917, the United States joined World War I to help its allies fight for freedom. After the war, the 1920s were a fun and exciting time, with jazz music, dancing, and new fashions. But in 1929, the Great Depression began. The stock market crashed, and many people lost their jobs, homes, and savings. President Franklin D. Roosevelt created the New Deal, a series of programs to help people and rebuild the economy. In 1941, America joined World War II after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. This devastating event shocked the nation and united Americans in their resolve to protect freedom and democracy. The U.S. became a major force in the Allied effort, fighting alongside countries like Britain and the Soviet Union against the Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan. American soldiers played key roles in major battles, such as D-Day in Europe and the island-hopping campaign in the Pacific. The war also brought significant changes on the home front. Factories that once produced cars and household goods were repurposed to make tanks, planes, and weapons. Women entered the workforce in large numbers, symbolized by Rosie the Riveter, taking on jobs that were traditionally done by men. The war ended in 1945 with the surrender of Germany and Japan. The U.S. dropped two atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which forced Japan to surrender but also ushered in the nuclear age, a new and dangerous chapter in world history. After the war, the U.S. emerged as a global leader. The economy boomed, and programs like the GI Bill helped returning soldiers buy homes and attend college. However, the world had changed, and America faced new challenges in the coming decades. Chapter 12: World War II and the Path to Leadership. In 1941, America joined World War II after the attack on Pearl Harbor by Japan. The United States fought alongside allies like Britain and the Soviet Union to stop the Axis powers led by Germany, Italy, and Japan. American soldiers fought bravely in major battles like D-Day in Europe and the Pacific Campaign against Japan. Back home, everyone worked together for the war effort. Factories produced tanks, planes, and weapons. Women took on jobs traditionally held by men, becoming Rosie the Riveter figures and contributing greatly to the economy and military success. The war ended in 1945 with the surrender of Germany and Japan after the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Following the war, America emerged as a global leader and helped rebuild Europe through the Marshall Plan. The United Nations was formed to promote peace, and the United States played a key role in its creation. Chapter 13: The Cold War and Social Change. After World War II, the United States faced a new challenge: the Cold War. This was a tense rivalry with the Soviet Union, a communist country. Both nations competed in areas like space exploration, nuclear weapons, and influence around the world. The space race was one highlight, with the U.S. landing the first humans on the moon in 1969. During this time, America also experienced major social changes. The civil rights movement fought for equality for African Americans. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks inspired the nation to stand against segregation and discrimination. Laws like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 helped create a more just society. The 1960s and 70s also saw movements for women's rights, environmental protection, and peace. Despite challenges, the country was moving toward progress and inclusion. Chapter 14: The Modern Era. In the late 20th century, America continued to grow and change. Technology transformed everyday life with the invention of personal computers, the internet, and smartphones. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Google became leaders in innovation. The United States faced challenges like the 9/11 terrorist attacks in 2001, which led to wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. These events reshaped national security and foreign policy. At the same time, America made strides in areas like health, education, and space exploration. The election of Barack Obama as the first African American president in 2008 marked a historic moment. The country continued to evolve, embracing diversity and striving to address global issues like climate change and social justice. Chapter 15, America Today and Tomorrow. Today, the United States is a global leader in economics, culture, and innovation. It is home to people from all over the world, making it one of the most diverse nations. Challenges like political divisions, economic inequality, and environmental concerns remain, but Americans continue to work together to solve problems and create a better future. The story of America is one of resilience, creativity, and the pursuit of dreams. From the earliest explorers to the present day, the United States has grown and changed, always striving to live up to its ideals of freedom and equality for all.